In this episode, we're finally going to use Git to make our very first commit, the step where our work actually gets recorded. By the end of this episode, you will understand exactly how Git works under the hood, which will put you ahead of 90% of people who use Git but have no idea how it works internally. Now, in the last two episodes, we followed our writer Alex, who saved her first tree. So in order to understand what a commit is, we will pick up our story from where we left. So we had this directory where Alex had two files, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Here is the tree that she saved in the last episode. Basically, it's a mapping with two entries, two rows, chapter 1 as well as chapters, because remember, our directory has basically at the parent level chapter 1 and chapters. In summary, when we have files, their type in Git is blob, and when we have folders, Git saves them as a type tree. And the tree is basically a mapping that maps file names or the directory names to their hash ID. So for example, chapter 1 is mapped in this first row to this blob ID or hash ID. And the chapters has its own ID. And since it's a tree, it itself maps chapter 2 file to the version of that chapter 2 or to the blob ID of chapter 2. Now, this is a nice diagram of what we have. So we have saved this tree, which again has two entries, chapter 1, which points to version 1 of chapter 1, and chapters, which is itself a tree, which itself has only one file, one mapping, which maps the name, the file name chapter 2 to its version 1. At this point, we have saved the tree, but some information are missing. First, we don't know who is the author, who made these changes, who saved this tree. Second, we don't know the time and the date of this saving. And third, we need to have a message that tells us what are these changes that we save. And that's what exactly a commit object is all about. So a commit object points to a tree object, to our tree that we have saved. You can think of this tree as the current state of the directory with all its files. And it adds these three metadata information: the author who saved this tree or these changes, the date and the time, and the message. And this commit message is very important, and it helps us and our co-workers to understand what was changed in this version. In the meanwhile, Alex has further worked on her book, and now she has updated the content of chapter 1 file. Let's say she has added some more paragraphs, as well as she has now a new file called ideas, where she puts her ideas about the book. Now she wants to make another commit to save these changes. So here is what we had from first commit. So we have our commit object, which points to the tree, and this tree is the state of the parent directory when we saved it, which had these chapters, and inside was chapter 2 with its first version and chapter 1 with its first version. Now she first needs to save the tree, the current state of the directory, which is a little bit different now. So now we have the ideas text, which is a new file, which points to its first version, to its blob ID, as well as chapter 1. Chapter 1 now points to a different blob, version 2, because Alex changed the content of chapter 1. She updated it. How about chapter 2? For chapter 2, actually, the chapters points to the same tree as with the previous version. Because Alex did not touch chapter 2 file, the whole chapters directory was just the same. So chapter's name is still mapped to the same tree object that we had from the previous version. And finally, the second commit comes and points to this tree, as well as we know the metadata, who is the author, the date and the time, and the message. But it also points to the first commit, to the parent commit. So this first commit is a parent of this second commit. And Git needs this parent to know where this commit is in the history. Now, enough with theory, let's see this in action. So in our Alex's book new project, if we do ls, we see that we had this chapter 1 file as well as this chapters directory, which itself has only one file, chapters 2. Now in the previous episode we used git update index and we added the blob IDs of these two files to our index, and we use git write tree to save the tree. So I'm gonna just do git write tree again to show you and basically also to get the hash ID, because I will need this when I want to create my commit. So this is the hash ID of the tree that we built. We can see it if we look at the .git objects directory, and we see this 70 is the first two characters. So this is our tree that we saved, and we can see it in our objects database. It's this object basically. We can also look at it. We can use git cat file -p, and we can copy paste the hash ID of the tree, and we see that again a tree is nothing but a mapping. Basically it maps this file name to this hash blob ID or hash ID, as well as this chapters, which is a directory name, to its hash ID. And you can see that this is a tree because this is a directory, and this is a simple file, and the files are blob objects in Git. Now let's see how we can create our first commit. So for this we will use git commit tree, and we will paste the hash ID of the tree, which is this one, which is here, and I'm gonna copy paste it again. And we need to also give it a message, so I'm gonna write save first draft for chapters 1 and 2 and hit enter, and now we have made our very first commit, and this is the hash ID of the commit. So I'm gonna copy this as well, and I'm gonna show you. Let me first do ls.git objects that you can see where it is. So look at these two first characters 9f, and we see that it's here. I'm gonna also use git cat file -p to look at the content. Okay, let me do it again that it's more clean. So we're looking at our commit. So this is the ID of our first commit. So here we have the content of our commit object. So in the first line, we are pointing to a tree that we saved. The second line gives us information about the author, which is Cherry Pick Academy, its email, and some information about the time and the date. And the third line is telling us who is the committer. So in this case, and most of the time, usually the author and the committer will be the same. It could be that someone else made the changes and another person committed those changes. And in the last line, we have our commit message. Now let's go ahead and update chapter 1 and create our ideas text. So we have chapter 1. Let's say we want to open it with nano chapter 1, and Alex did update her chapter 1, and she added, you could see some light in the distance. And then we save it, Control O, enter, Control X. All right, so let's look at our chapter 1 again, and we see that we have now changed it. Let's also create a new file called ideas.txt. Open it in nano. Let's say my great idea 1. And we're gonna save it, Control X, and yes. Let's take a look at it, and we see that we have a new file, and this is what is inside our file. All right, let's save our blobs first, and then save the tree, and then finally save our second commit. So we have now changed this, so we're gonna save this manually with git hash object -write command, and we're gonna give the name. Now we have saved the new version. I would also use the same command git hash object -write to save ideas. Now we have the blob for this file name. Now step 2 is to add these two files to our index, to update our index, and then write the tree. So for this we would use git update index command with dash dash add dash dash cache info, and then we will need to copy the hash ID of chapters 1 file and link it to chapter 1 file. Enter. Okay, I forgot the mode. So after cache info, I need to give the mode. And since these are simple file, the mode will be 100.644. Now I can enter. Now that is added to the index. Now we're gonna do for the other file git update index dash dash add dash dash cache info. The same file mode because it's file, so this is the mode for a file, and I'm gonna copy the hash ID of ideas.txt file, paste it here, and link it to ideas.txt, and there we go. Let me clear this. Now we can use git write tree to write out our tree, and now we have our tree, and from here we can check it, objects. So we can look at this BD. So we have this new object tree, and finally we can use git commit dash tree, and then we can provide the ID of the tree, the hash ID, and then a message, let's say add new ideas, and hit enter. So this is now our second commit, second version of our project. And let's take a look at it, what is inside our second commit dash p. And I'm gonna copy and paste. And here we go. Now we see that inside we have again 4 lines. We have the tree that our second commit is pointing at. You can see that this tree hash ID is the same as the one we used when we committed the tree. And again, the author information, the time information, the committer, and as well as the message. So in this video, we covered what git commit is. In the next video, we will talk about what is the staging area, the index, as well as the working directory, and we will see the git status command, which is very helpful. See you then.